Just last week, US President Donald Trump announced a travel ban on 36 countries. Itong travel ban includes a full suspension to the countries found in the list, meaning hindi pwedeng magbigay ng kahit anong klase ng visa, mapa-tourist man, mapa-work visa, student visa, or even green card sa mga citizens ng mga countries na nakalagay sa travel ban. Although, swerte tayo dahil ang Philippines ay hindi naman kasama dito sa 36 countries na nalagay sa listahan, it is important to know that the US is beginning to impose much stricter rules when it comes to granting US visa to foreigners like us. Kaya naman for us Filipinos na balak magpunta sa US, it's important to be prepared and as much as possible to not make critical mistakes na magpapadeny sa atin ng US visa. So guys, in this video, we'll be talking about the 5 most common mistakes that applicants make when they try to apply for a US visa. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first common mistake that applicants make when they apply for a US visa ay nag-a-apply sila under the wrong visa category. Maraming nade-deny sa US Embassy during the actual interview dahil yung intent or yung purpose nila is hindi nagmamatch doon sa main intention or main purpose ng visa category na ina-applyan nila. So for example guys, nag-apply sila doon sa DS-160 form, ang nilagay nilang visa category na applyan ay B1 or B2, which is tourist or business visa. Tapos pagdating doon sa interview na with the consul, kapag tinanong sila kung ano yung purpose or kung bakit sila magpupunta sa US, biglang hindi na yun yung sasabihin nila. Hindi na for leisure, hindi na bakasyon, or hindi na business trip. So this one is a very common mistake that applicants make. So you have to make sure na kapag mag-a-apply kayo at mag-fill out kayo ng DS-160 form, which is the application form when you try to apply for a US visa, make sure na i-check nyo kung ano ba yung perfect or yung proper na visa category for you. The second common mistakes na ginagawa ng mga applicants kapag nag-apply sila ng US visa ay pumupunta sila doon sa US Embassy, nagsischedule ng interview gamit yung DS-160 form na incomplete or inaccurate yung information na laman. Itong DS-160 form is the only document na consul will always ask from every applicant na magpupunta sa US Embassy. Kasi itong DS-160 form ay yung application form mo. Itong DS-160 form, fill outan mo siya ng personal information mo. Kailangan ilalagay mo lahat ng background about you, family background, work experience, lahat, pati yung tourist or travel information mo. Ilalagay mo doon lahat. So, it's important na kumpleto ito at tama yung information na nakalagay. Dahil itong document na to yung pagbabasihan ng mga consuls kung i-deny ka ba nila or kung i-approve nila yung US visa mo. One of the common mistakes na nagagawa ng mga applicants kapag nag-fill out sila ng DS-160 form, ito, very small lang kung tutuusin, pero this can make or break your application, which is typos. Kapag mayroong typographical error, for example, sa full name mo, hindi na siya nag-match doon sa passport, it might be a red flag doon na sa consul. Baka hindi ka na i-grant or i-approve ng US visa. Kasi, hindi na nagma-match yung full name or yung name mo doon sa application form tas doon sa passport. Pero meron din na hindi naman siya inaccurate pero siguro outdated yung information na nalagay. For example, yung work na nalagay mo, yung current work mo na nalagay mo dun sa DS-160 form ay yung previous work mo pala. Nag-resign ka na dun tapos meron ka ng ibang company or bagong company. So yun, nagiging red flag yun kasi kapag sa interview na mention mo na dito ka nag-work and then doon sa DS-160 iba yung nakalagay, then that's a red flag also and it can be a cause for rejection ng iyong visa application. Other types of mistakes or other types of errors na usually nandun sa DS-160 form naman ay nagwi-withhold tayo ng information. An example kung saan nagwi-withhold ng information yung mga applicants. Doon kasi sa isang section sa DS-160 form, meron doon tanong na meron ka bang kamag-anak, meron ka bang kapatid doon sa Amerika. So yung iba Hindi nila sinasabi. Although na meron silang relatives, they try to withhold that information. Kaso guys, malalaman at malalaman din ng consul yan. Kasi as they do the interview, as you guys do the interview, nagba-background check yan on the side. So kapag nakalagay doon na wala, tapos nalalaman nila, no, na search nila na meron ka palang kamag-anak, edi red flag na agad yun, and that can be a cause for denial also. By the way guys, speaking of an incomplete DS-160 form, I understand no na it's not for everybody na mag-DIYs when it comes to applying for a US visa. Especially dahil medyo matrabaho rin talaga yung requirements at talagang nakakakaba kapag magpapa-interview ka na doon sa embassy, pati na rin sa immigration. Especially nga, as we mentioned earlier in the beginning of this video na medyo strict na talaga sila when it comes to accepting tourists dahil na doon sa travel ban na in-expand pa ni President Trump just last week. So now, if you're really planning to go to the US pero nahihirapan ka and you find it really challenging to process all the documents and go through the steps alone or, doing it DIY, then you might want to check out the services of Filipino Visa. Filipino Visa is a well-established visa assistance company here in the Philippines. They have been operating since 2014 and currently they're catering to a wide variety of services including tourist visa, student visa, and all other sorts of visa except for work visa because currently they're still in the works of finalizing and really polishing their processes when it comes to assisting those who are planning to work in the US. To explain how the service of Filipino Visa works, they offer end-to-end assistance from preparing your DS-160 form to preparing your actual interview at the US Embassy to the immigration interview once you land in the US. So as you can see, it's really end-to-end, it's very comprehensive, and really the chances of you getting approved would be much higher because they've been doing this for over a decade already. They've helped lots of applicants, Filipino applicants, as well as American applicants who tried to immigrate here in the Philippines. So their services are really well established and have been proven time and time again that they are effective and that they can help you be approved, get approved for the US visa. So guys, if you are interested in getting or availing their service, I would link their official website in the description box below so you could already start consulting with them for free. So once again, thank you Filipino Visa for partnering with us in this video. The third most common mistake that applicants make ay hindi match yung sagot nila sa interview doon sa nakasulat or nakalagay sa kanilang DS-160 form. Kanina nga nabanggit na natin no, na kapag tinanong ka doon sa DS-160 kung may kamag-anak ka, sinabi mo na yes, tapos pagdating sa interview sasabihin mo no, then that is a red flag already and that can be a cause for denial. Isa ding instance no, hindi naman siya talaga like mismatched yung answers, but kapag na-follow up ka na, biglang mababago na yung sagot mo. Kasi meron doon sa DS-160, may tanong about deportation issues, or kung meron ka bang case of overstaying sa US or sa ibang bansa, yun, meron mga ganong tanong. For example, nilagay mo or chinek mo yung no doon sa application form. And then natanong ka sa interview, syempre, initially would say no kasi nga nakalagay sa DS-160. Pero once na nag-follow up, tapos nakita nila or na-pull up nila yung data mo, tapos nakita nila doon sa system na, uy, meron pala siyang case of overstaying or na-deport siya before, then that is a red flag already and that can be an immediate cause no, for rejection or denial of your US visa. So we have to be careful. At also guys, one tip din kasi na lagi nating sinasabi at sinasabi rin ng mga ibang applicants na na-approve ay you just have to be honest and really be straightforward with what you're answering. Hindi lang sa interview, kundi sa DS-160 kasi kailangan talagang pareho sila. The fourth most common mistake that applicants make is they walk in the interview or they try to apply for a US visa with no strong social ties dito sa Philippines. From the very beginning guys, ang sinasabi doon pala nga sa website no, ng US Embassy, kapag nag-a-apply ka ng tourist visa, to be specific, kailangan you would show strong social ties. Kasi yun yung pinaka-anchor nila at pinaka-reference nila na ay hindi babalik to sa Pilipinas, hindi siya mag-overstay doon or hindi siya titira doon as an illegal immigrant dahil meron siyang social ties dito sa Philippines. Example of social ties, meron kang work, meron kang nag-aaral ka, so meron kang school, so hindi mo naman pwedeng pabayaan, di ba? And then, meron kang business. Ayan yung mga strong social ties. Personal properties are also considered strong social ties. So, once na hindi mo ma-establish or alam mo sa sarili mo, no, before pa lang ka mag-apply for a US visa na wala ka nun, even though sa sarili mo, alam mo na hindi mo intention na pumunta doon para maghanap ng work or para magtayo ng negosyo, hindi yun yung magiging impression pagdating sa consul. So, before the application pa lang, you have to establish within yourself na, ay, meron ako talagang strong social ties. So, kasi sayang din guys yung visa fee, yung application fee na 10K or 11K. Kung alam mo na from the get-go, wala kang strong social ties, then talagang low chance of getting approved. So, that is the fourth most common mistake that applicants make na nagbabaka sakali na kahit na walang trabaho, yun, red flag na kasi agad sa kanila. So, it's important, we have to ensure na na-establish natin yon before mag-apply para hindi magkaroon ng aberya at strong chances or higher chances of getting approved. The fifth and final common mistake that applicants make is they come to the interview either overconfident or super timid, pero hindi sila composed. Again guys, remember na doon sa actual interview, that would be the only reference kung madi-deny ka or ma-approve ka for a US visa. So, it's important yung posture and how you show yourself in front of the consuls. So, dapat hindi tayo doon sa either of the extremes na sobrang kabado, na parang hindi tayo makapagsalita, natatameme tayo, and at the same time, we shouldn't be overconfident. Instead of those two, we have to instead be composed. Composed not in a sense na, syempre, hindi naman natin maiwasan yung kaba, but hindi naman to the point na natatameme tayo, tapos hindi natin masasagot, yun. Tapos hindi rin naman pwede or hindi rin naman maganda na masyado kang confident. Overconfident ka na parang dinedemand mo na ma-approve ka na agad. Hindi ganon. So, you just have to stay somewhere in the middle. So, this is where our video ends. Thank you so much guys for watching until the end. And as usual, if you appreciated this video or found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you can click the subscribe button. And also, guys, like and share this video to people you know who are also looking to improve their chances of getting approved for a US visa. So, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!